So people generally think number 13 is unlucky. If something happens in that particular house, then people blame not the house or not the incident. He was also chairman of National Anti-Sweating League, an advocacy group which campaigned for minimum wage in the industry. Explored early truths with growth of science and technology. So we all know why ladder is used to climb to top or to do some work. Hello students, I'm Anil, Assistant Professor of English, Vidhyaashram First Grade College, the Temple of Excellence, MYSURU. In this session, we are going to look at an essay titled On Superstitions by A.G. Gardner for the students of BBA first semester. A.G. Gardner was an English journalist, editor and author. His essays written under the pen name Alpha of the Plow are highly regarded. He was also chairman of National Anti-Sweating League, an advocacy group which campaigned for minimum wage in the industry. A.G. Gardner is a great essayist. His essays are delightful, humorous and thought-provoking. When you see at this particular essay on superstitions, you will understand all these nature involved in it to address what is wrong with superstitions. To summarize his essay on superstitions, his essay on superstitions is about the superstitious beliefs in the mind of modern man. He talks about superstitions in the mind of modern man. Today, science is so much advanced that we do not stick on to these, but still we do. Why do we do that? He also brings out the effectiveness of scientific thinking in dealing with superstitions. So he advocates taking the help of science in order to understand what was wrong with our beliefs. According to him, the superstitious beliefs are baseless, they are irrational, and they are unscientific. Though we all know this point, but still we stick on to some of the superstitious beliefs that people have been following. He examines some of the superstitious meaningfully. So he takes some of the superstitious beliefs and he deals with them in a scientific manner. He begins by saying that most common superstition is associated with number 13. So why number 13? So many people in the West, they are not happy with this number 13. It is generally regarded as unlucky. Why so? If something goes wrong in the house number 13, people immediately think that it is because of the unlucky number. So people generally think number 13 is unlucky. If something happens in that particular house, then people blame not the house or not the incident, but that number, that is 13. Though many murders take place in the houses of other numbers also, it is not taken seriously. So in the beginning of the essay, he writes, in many houses which are numbered 5, 6, 7, etc. But if the same thing happens in the house number 13, people catch it very quickly. People hesitate to take a room or house number 13 in the West. People, they don't like this number 13. Therefore, no one keeps number 13 to their houses. If their house is actually number 13th, they will put it as 14th. They skip this number 13. Even the hospitals, they don't have a bed with 13 number. But the author says that he travels regularly in a bus number 13 without any fear. He always takes the bus number 13 and he does not have any fear. And this superstitious belief is really baseless. That is what he talks about, a superstitious belief linked with number 13. Then Gardner discusses many other superstitions. So he talks about many other superstitious beliefs. He says walking under a ladder is a superstition for many people in America and Europe. So he says walking under the ladder is not good. It brings bad luck, etc. However, he says there is a practical reason for not walking under the ladder. So we all know why ladder is used to climb to top or to do some work. The person on the ladder may drop anything down, or he may fall down, or he may be a victim of epilepsy. So these might be the reasons. Something may happen if that is not properly kept, lean to the wall, or if the person working using the ladder, he may drop something from the top. If you walk under it, it may fall on our head. Therefore, it is better to walk around the ladder than under the ladder. That is just the scientific explanation why one should not walk under the ladder which is being used. Therefore, he gives that explanation. He talks about the belief of people with the moon. They have a belief that if they saw the moon with money in their pockets from the right shoulder, if you see the moon like this, and there is moon and there is money in your pocket, it is thought to be lucky. Their money will increase as the moon increases. That is the belief. The author says that these superstitious beliefs are no longer significant. They are outdated with the advancement of science and technology. Simply we'll link whatever happens around us with the luck, and it has no relationship with what really happens. The author says that many decisions in the past were taken based on superstitious beliefs and omens. If you look at the dramas written by Shakespeare and other writers, you get to know that they really based their thoughts on superstitious beliefs and omens. Thunder was a bad omen to the Romans. Falling of leaf was a bad omen to postpone the war for some others. So he says, Romans did not transact any business when there was the noise or sound of the thunder. They thought it was a bad sign. And falling of leaves was a bad moment to postpone the war. So people believed that if the leaves are falling down, one should not get into war. Those were all the beliefs. Alexander, Caesar, Cicero, and others believed fortune tellers and soothsayers. So why they are called soothsayers? Because they tell us something which suits us. So here they all had a group of people who talked about future and they were saying something very soothing. They used to take their advices. Cicero believed the wisdom of crows and Caesar considered them as bad omen. So what was considered as good by one was considered bad by the other. And this was the example. So there was no commonality. They were all baseless. That is what A.G. Gardiner is trying to tell us. Sometimes omens were right and sometimes they were wrong, but totally they are meaningless. Many people in India also observe these superstitious beliefs. They follow it, they think like this. But sometimes when you think that it's going to be bad, it becomes bad and you stick to that belief. If you think that something good is going to happen, if it turns out to be good, then you start believing that. So here, they are completely baseless and meaningless. Even the farmers of ancient Greece consulted the omens and the oracles. So these farmers, they went to these people, omens and oracles. But today, they are careful of their fertilizers. It is because of science. When crop failed, people did not know what was happening in nature. Today, we have scientific studies about nature, what is happening, what happens, what type of soil is good for what kind of crop. So here we have everything scientifically studied. So farmers are now careful about their fertilizers than going to those people. At the end of the essay, Gardiner says that the man has explored early truths with growth of science and technology. So earlier when man evolved, he did not know anything about nature. He feared everything. So he believed in the animals, intelligence of animals and birds. But that did not mean anything. Man accepted everything like what he wanted, like how he wanted. But advancement of science changed everything. We systematically understood the nature and now there was a reasoning for everything. Therefore, superstitions have disappeared to a great extent. Our generation is lucky as we need not depend on superstitious beliefs and bad omens. So A.G. Gardiner is really happy because we have advanced with science and technology. Therefore, we need not depend on the superstitious beliefs and bad omen. That is about on superstitions. To summarize this essay on superstitions, A.G. Gardiner talks about many superstitious beliefs which people practice even today, but he says they are all baseless. Since science was not much evolved in the earlier stages of human evolution, we depended on these omens which convinced our beliefs, and they were still followed until there was science and technology which helped us understand what is happening in the nature. And therefore, he says our generation is lucky to have these powerful tools, science and technology, to aid us. So with this, we shall meet in the next class. Thank you.